what point does belief become knowing and then change into an unwavering truth?
One starts with belief because that's easier. I can believe in the possibility of something. When it becomes knowing is when I can attest to its validity. Now, what does that actually mean in English? The first thing you got to look at is you believe in, when you're a child, you believe that you're going to be given this present. And until you ask your parents, it's a belief. It's nothing more than a fancy or desire.
Yeah.
Then you go to your parents and you discuss it with them and you ask them for it and they say, I'll see. You still don't have knowing, you're still in belief because nothing has...
Not holding it yet, yeah.
Well, nothing has changed. They haven't even made a commitment, you see. So you're still in this, I'm wondering. The minute your parent says you can have that, you're now stepping into knowing, because if you know that when your parent says what they say and it happens, then you can trust that, correct?
Yes.
But if your parent lies to you, which...
Well, maybe they're not.
then unfortunately you wouldn't be able to trust it. So I'm going to the presumption that generally parents will tell their children the truth. And if they promise, they deliver their promises, because that's how I was and still am. So you go on the presumption, your parent now says, yes, I'm going to give this to you. So now you have assurance. You now know. I have belief, it's become knowing. And after knowing comes realization or receipt, where you actually get the thing in your life. And then you now have evidence, because I believed, I entered a space of knowing, and then I had the evidence, the reality of that came into my life. So when you apply that on a spiritual principle or on something which seems to be intangible, I say seem to be because everything in this world is actually intangible. If you remember, I've said before that we're all energy, so nothing is real, it's just what we perceive. So when we look at this, and I have belief that something is going to manifest in my life, and while I'm talking to you, I can hear one of my guides saying the most important things that people want is to find love, good career, and good money. Okay? So let's take one, love. So now I have this heart's desire to find the perfect partner. I first have to go through all the darts that come in and saying that if I want this, I've got to have that, and this won't happen because of this. And let me also reiterate, I can't look at a particular person and say, I want that person.
Or her. Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't say man.
Yeah,
you're obviously thinking. I say person. So I can't specify what person I want. And for me, the most important aspect when you're looking for a relationship is not necessarily what the person looks like, but is what the person's energy is. You can get lost, and he must have a moustache, or she must have long blonde hair, or whatever. Those are the semantics, please. That's you're a soul. You engage this world as a soul first, not as a body. Get that? So when you engage from a place of soul to soul, you're going, the soul that I want to be with will have these personality traits. They'll come across like this. I will feel this, and it'll bring this out of me. So that's the believing stage. The knowing comes when you do some exercises, and there are exercises where you can project yourself into the future, where you can sit with that soul and actually communicate, share, connect, be with that person as if they were physically present with you. I know that to be true because that's where I live. I always take all of my desires and project myself into the future where I'm actually manifested in them already.
Yes, yeah.
And then it's natural. Time will flow and pass, and there will be the realization. In many areas of my life, actually, in all areas of my life, that's how it works. I go from believing believing in something rather, setting the intention, coming to a place through the exercises that I do into a knowing. Once I've got that knowing, it's like a deep, deep grounded feeling in my gut. Unshakable, nothing can take it away. It is as real as if that manifestation is going to walk in the door the next minute.
It's also like you've made a choice on a personal level, that's what you're really choosing to have in your life.
The choice comes during the believing stage, because you cannot believe until you make a choice. Otherwise you are wishing. Because while you're in a wishing stage, the next best thing can come and catch your eye.
And you're still kind of surveying.
You're flip-flopping. Take a fish out of water, throw it on a deck, flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop. You know, the fish can flip-flop, flip-flop, flip-flop there, and it'll die. Well, flip-flop, flip-flop with your wishes, you'll never get anywhere with your life. If the fish has absolute intent that it's not going to stay on that deck, it wants the water, you'll be amazed at how those fishes can move and get back in the water.
Yeah.
So,
Desire.
the minute you get beyond wishes, you make a choice. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to make a choice. I don't accept the status quo. I'm not happy with what everyone says I must accept. There's a part of me that wants more. Whatever your motivation is, you'll come to a choice, then you'll set the intention, and your belief will become formalized, and will actually have a structure. And then you'll invest into it with visualizing and doing exercises to bring the emotive part of you into play. Because you need to activate this being of you, this thing called body and mind. Because the mind is a liar. It'll tell you, no, it's not for you, or it'll never happen, all load of garbage. Your circle of friends and family will reinforce the garbage. Why? Misery likes company. And I'm sorry, it offends a lot of people, but that's it. You know, people like keeping people miserable so they can be together in misery. But the reality of it is a soul being can actualize every good and pure thing into their life if they will intend and hold that vision, and then will do whatever is revealed to them to do to bring themselves into that space. And then knowing appears as a reality, and then guess what? You're having it, you're living it, you're being it. And then the next thing, and the next thing, so on.
Thank you. It was very insightful. Thank you.
Cool.